We here at the Kamen Saloon Riff Tracks always support any and all that are involved in the creation and distribution of any show we feature, and will encourage any of those watching to support the official release. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet, this is the Gaming Saloon Rip Tracks for December 7th, 2013, with your host, Spacebreaker2448.
And ramp it up, Salon.
Okay, apparently anything I open right now is going to play through my TV.
I'm starting to notice this because it's picking up on your mic just faintly. And I forgot to switch off the title card again. Doo-da, doo-da. I hate when I forget to do that.
And in case anyone's wondering, it is the Ghost in the Shell second gig opening. Because I've been watching reviews of Ghost in the Shell second gig, and I've liked hearing the opening right now.
You get stuck on openings, don't you?
I do, because I'll like sometimes I'll just have them open and playing while I'm doing something else entirely. Like if I'm sitting down doing calculus work, I'm just like playing a move, playing a song while I'm doing it.
Of course, I can't say nothing. I have played, I think, just about all of. Let me look, actually. I've got them all in a folder. I've been playing various writer themes throughout random notions, because I'll just take a notion and it's like, I want to listen to those. Wow, I think the only one I don't have is Forza's opening. But otherwise, I've got from Decade on.
Kuki Nagato had pretty good openings.
I'm going to have to venture my way backwards eventually.
Hey, you're pretty much be doing how I did the Heisei era. I went backwards, too. I started double, went to O's, took a break from that, watched all of Decade, completed O's, and while I was watching Forza, I went through and experimented with everyone else. So, like, Blade was the first pre-Decade show I completed. And honestly, it's not too bad of a show. I just have, like, problems with parts of it that make me go, about it. That's just me, though. You might like Blade. It's one of the better ones. And Kuki and Nagato I've both completed. They're good. The thing is, neither TV Nihon nor Overtime have ever subbed them.
Huh.
Or, scratch that, completed subbing them. TV Nihon's working through both right now. At the very least, Akito has good subs now. Before, it was good subs, but it was terribly. It was just looked terrible, and I think there were bad subs, too. Now, we have good subs for Akito and good subs for Kuga, so the Heisei era is pretty much complete.
Well, that's good.
It's the show era that we have problems with. So we got, like, what, Amazon Complete, Stronger's nearing completion. I think the original show is, like, half done. I think Black's complete. The 3 movies that were in between Black RX and Kuga that came out in theaters are complete because they're movies. The Ziscara special is done, and that's as much as I know. Other than that, those shows may have like 1 or 2 episodes subbed, but nothing else.
Wow.
And I think the Stronger Project is the only one currently going on. I don't even know the progress of the original writer show. I don't think it's currently being subbed right now.
Huh.
And the problem is also I think those episodes are subbed out of order, so it's not the actual first half of the season. I believe.
It's just scattered.
I believe so.
Ooh.
Also
that
doesn't
makes
help.
Things harder too, though.
Yeah. But I also have a thing where I want to watch the Showa era in order because that is in far more continuity with each other. Like, there's an actual kind of build up over each show
Hmm.
that eventually leads to kind of like the formation of the Legendary Seven and Stronger. Because not only do the six riders before Stronger come for that special, or not that special, those episodes within the show itself, but they also their actors come in too. So
So they are a lot more intertwined all
yeah,
the way.
oh yeah. It also helps that all of those shows were being done by the same production crew, so there's a lot of carryover between seasons.
Huh.
Whereas, these days it's a different production crew every season. We have different directors, different writers, different producers, all with their own different ideas about Rider, which leads to the very the big diversity between all the Heisei writers. Where the Showa writers, you can see the similarities between them a little bit in the design.
Yeah, there is a lot in the design I've noticed.
Yeah,
Because there's quite a few of them that kind of look similar to each other, almost to the point where if you aren't necessarily paying attention, you might get some of them mixed up.
yeah. Especially Ichigo and Nigo. I wouldn't be surprised if someone thought Ichigo was Nigo and Nigo was Ichigo. Because the only true difference between them is the boots and gloves. Otherwise, they're nearly identical.
Jeez.
But that's a part of the show why they're nearly identical. I wish a figure art of Nigo had the black helmet that was in Megamax, because that really makes them two separate. Really makes them look different. Also, I kind of like that better on him, and also really separates the two, because while they are similar, they are different. They're two different characters. And breeding spirits, I really get that. So yeah, and with that little rambling done, we're gonna be continuing on the Wizards this week, but we're gonna ramble on some more.
Yes.
But we're gonna be more focused on rambling because we had Kamen in episode 8, and we got some backstory that we've been needing this week. Uh, it was nice to know why Kaito is a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
At least
And
makes him.
and it does explain a lot of what he does.
Yeah. Also, not gonna lie, it's a bit of a dick. It's also very dickish of Yggdrasil to build their giant weird tower thing on his dad's old factory or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just like dirt in the sand. That's like dirt in the wound. It's like, really? She's gonna smack that right on this like kid's father's workplace, just out of nowhere. It's like we're buying this land. Also, you're out of a job because we have to build our fancy looking tower here. We got a little bit from I too, and find out that she's a bit similar to Kaito in terms of her backstory.
Which is something that you wouldn't really realize.
Yeah, and I think that's really good because it makes Kaito realize like, yeah, I've been dicked over by Yggdrasil, but so has Mai, and look at how she's dealing with it. She's trying to make other people smile and happy and trying to bring joy to the world, whereas I'm trying to crush people at every corner.
Yeah, but they both have different meanings of strength.
Yeah, and also, yeah, it also try makes Kaito realize it's like maybe there is a different strength out there.
He's kind of realizing that acting tough is one form of it, but that's not always the best way of going about it.
Yeah. Uh, a lot of good action. Again, more freaking Guy and Ryugen team up action. I loved it. I especially love this one. That was really cool. It, This is like stuff I wouldn't expect until like later in the season, where we get team ups of the different riders. But now we're getting it like 9 episodes, not eight, 8 episodes in. 9 premiered this week. We're getting it 8 episodes in, and they're making the best of it. Um, Sadly, no Grid and Kurokage or Bravo, but we got them introduced in 2 episodes. How about we take a break and not overload the show with the 7 riders? We got 7 riders to play with here, folks. And we got like 31. As of this point, like 31 episodes to play with, approximately. Maybe
Yeah.
41. We got plenty to work with here. Let's see. Got the setup for this week's episode with the hunt for the Invest.
Mhm.
And probably my favorite comedic moment so far in the show. Gaim riding off the cliff in the forest, landing
Yeah.
face down, ass up. I'm like, there has to be like an answer to that idea, to like someone complaining into the show. It's like, why do they always end up in some perfect landing locations? Like, why don't they ever drive off a cliff? I swear that has to be written that way on purpose.
Has to be.
Yeah. And Mango Arms, which I forgot to really talk about in our recap review, but I haven't really talked about all the suits that much, because we get one a week, and it's just like, oh, all the suits and the colors and the fruits and the Plus, I sometimes don't really notice the suits. I'm just like, it's Kurokage, because I just recognize them off the bat. So they're distinctive, at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like Mango Arms. And as someone pointed out, very Kiva Doga form. If you've seen Kiva, the Kiva's Doga form was the one with the giant hammer in the shape of a fist that he drug behind him. So.
But there again, that gets back to the references.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know this show's taking key parts out of various other shows and kind of merging it into the thought now.
Yeah. So it's no surprise that they kind of duplicate that walk that Kiva does when he first goes into Doga form in the show. It's implied he's went in there before, but this is the first time we've seen it on the show, and it's nearly identical to walks. Dragging the giant weapon behind him as he just kind of slowly walks forward and goes to beat the shit out of him.
I must say, design-wise, though, there's not really anything major. I mean, there is differences between his normal form and then this form, but I don't feel like it's enough to make you sit there and have to think about who it is.
Yeah, I think that's probably the purpose behind it, especially since they have the base suit under all the armor, and we only ever get glimpses of that. So technically, that's Gaim before we put on whatever arms or suit of arms there is.
Right.
Which I think is probably the point, and also making the suits a little bit cheaper, because all of the armor pieces are just solid pieces that snap on, snap off.
Right.
And the only true difference between the suits is a helmet, which is cheaper to make than a whole new suit. Which probably is also why we've gotten like 7 riders right off the bat. Because the forms aren't that much of a difference between each other, so a little bit more cost effective to make more riders instead of more forms per set riders.
Right.
At least it works. At least the forms are different.
And they're different enough.
Yeah. And that hit everything except for our preview to next week, which, like I said, is the hunt for the Invest, and we get some Zangetsu action. Although I think he's not going to henshin in this episode. That's going to be next week, because I saw the preview for episode 10 before we started the show, and Zangetsu is definitely henshining in that preview, because we see it in the... not in the preview, in the episode, because we see it in the preview.
So it's finally completely understood that it is him. Even though we already know.
Well, we knew it was him because he de-transforms from Zangetsu to him.
But, I mean, physically, more than just the viewers know.
More than likely. Because he's like standing in the middle of like some random theater. It kind of looks like that one theater, that theater from Rainbow Six Vegas. I don't know. I think he in his henshin, I think he also tosses the lock seat up, then catches it and puts it in. I think.
If that's the case, then he's got a more showy change than Kaito has.
Yeah, because he spins the thing before he puts it in. And it's odd. Like, the serious ones are the ones with the flashy henshins, whereas, like, both Michi and Kota, they're not really that showy. Well,
there's, in all honesty, kind of reminds me of, and I was watching a YouTube video with various Hessians, and theirs kind of reminds me of how the Showa guys would do it.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty, with all the hand motions and basically keeping your focus on them and not what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, because I've seen a video that has, like, every single henshin to date from everyone.
I bet the same video.
Okay, does it start with Ichigo? Where like he says Rider henshin then jumps off a cliff?
Yep.
That's probably the same one. But yeah, now that you say that, Michi seems a lot more like Super One, because he does a lot of the whole like martial arts motions when he's doing his. Also kind of reminds me of Akito, because Akito does the same thing. And Akito has two henshins, because he has his normal henshin for like ground form, which is his base form, the two half arm forms, which are Flame and Storm, and he doesn't go Trinity except once, because I don't know, because they only do it once. There's a reason behind it, which was odd. But he has a completely different henshin if he goes straight into like Burning Form or Shining Form, which is odd, but okay. Make him special. Now that covers everything from this past week's Game episode, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Alright.
Oh,
Michi's interaction with Sid, but
yeah,
that's about the same as we've seen before. You know, Michi and Sid kind of playing nice with each other. But I make a note of it. It's like, I know at some point Sid's gonna be having enough of this bullshit, and he's gonna stab Michi right in the back.
Well, we also kind of missed the whole conversation between Sid and damn it, I never can remember his name.
Takatora.
Yeah.
I call him Zangetsu because that also sounds like a name. I call him Zangetsu a lot, but it's because we don't really hear his name otherwise.
Yeah. And I think that's the big flaw right there, because right now he's the bad guy, really.
Yeah.
And no one really knows who he is.
Yeah.
Everyone just knows him as the White Rider.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole conversation where he just even dismisses the idea. It's like, oh, my brother wouldn't do that. He's way too nice. Whereas Sid knows full well, it's like, oh yeah, he took it.
I like the laugh when he got out there. Like, yeah, he really thinks that.
Meanwhile, Sid's supplying him all this.
Well, Sid's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
By this point, he really is, because now he realizes that his brother just completely has no suspicions that he could ever be a writer.
Let
So now
alone,
Sid's like, here, take what you need.
let alone as manipulative as he is.
Yep.
Because Michi's playing Sid. Because Michi is like super manipulative.
Yeah.
And is more than willing to play whatever card he needs to win. Or get whatever he wants. Because he plays Sid, it's like, oh, well, I could tell my brother, no, I got it from you. No, you stole it. And I'm sure he believed me then. And you see that look on Sid, it's just like, damn it, the kid's got me. Damn, this kid's good. It's like, we're friends. But I even put it in quotations in the recap review. It's like they have a friendship, and by
Yeah.
friendship I mean they are either one is going to take out the other at some point in the series for something they do. Like Michi's gonna push a little too hard, or Sid's gonna do something where it's gonna force this like it's not even a friendship. It's like a business relationship.
That's
It's just
exactly
built on
what it is.
deception.
Yeah. It's completely focused around deception right now.
Yeah.
Because, in all honesty, Michi wants nothing to do with the company as it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he has no intentions of stepping in and completely doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And then Sid does not realize that right now. So he thinks he's serious on this. But meanwhile, Zangetsu's just completely being deceived by Sid in the same process. So it's like everywhere you go, someone's lying to someone.
Yeah, and VJ too, because I guarantee you, he is like gathering together all the footage. Like someone has captured footage of these guys henching.
Oh, I know someone has by now. I mean, my God. If someone has it, then there's a problem there.
Yeah.
Kota does not care where he's at. He's going to transform no matter what.
Yeah, he's transferred like in the middle of the street to deliver food. And we saw people seeing that. So people know he's Gaim. Like, even Kaito knew he was Gaim. Wait, no, of course he's always known he was Gaim. What am I saying? But, like, everyone's, like, known who each other are, also because they henshin, like, right in front of each other. But I'm sure Kaito even knew who Bravo was way before he got challenged by him. Are you going to say something?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah. Just a quick note on the opening, since it's Sengoku Battle War footage, and yeah, if you're following Wizard with us on a week-to-week basis right now, don't watch the openings. Like, there's no sound to this, but I guarantee you at some point there's going to be, like, something related to a Wizard spoiler in there. And trust me, you don't want to know that. Because anything they're going to spoil is late game, and the late game stuff is some of the best stuff Wizards got. Like, beginning and end stuff are great. It's the middle portion that's eh.
I'm planning on watching it still, but just kind of letting a lot of it slide and not really question anything that's going on.
Yeah, you're not going to include, like, sound per se to any of these trailers, to any of these openings. My concern is going to be the trailers if they start to spoil stuff. Because, no, I'm free and clear to watch this because I've watched all of Wizard, so I know what's going on. Plus, I've already looked into what's going on in the movie. Which, yeah, that Wizard portion deals directly with the end of Wizard. Like, literally, this plot is dealing directly with the aftermath of Wizard.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those last few episodes of Wizards are critical to your understanding of the wizard portion of Sengoku Battle War. Gaim portion, not so much, because it's just kind of like another Gaim story.
Well, and it's the opening for Gaim
Yeah.
to a point. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure it kind of plays somewhere into the story of Gaim because obviously it has to take place after the first episode because we
Yeah.
kind of see how Kotu has the belt to begin with.
From my understanding, and again, this goes back to the Kamen Rider Wiki, who tried desperately to connect the continuity of everything. They placed the movie at some point after Michi acquires Kiwi Arms, because Kiwi Arms is in the movie. So they placed it at some point after this week's episode. Specifically, I don't know, but there's an event in the movie that starts off Gaim's portion that I know of. That's some type of rider battle royale between all the between the six the six Gaim riders, because you can see a quick clip of that in the preview, or no, in the preview for next week's episode.
Ah,
Yeah, it's between all the Beat Rider riders, so Bravo's not in there, and neither is Sengetsu, but it's a big battle royale between the five of them.
so it's kind of like the opening
No,
at the very
because
beginning of the game.
no, because it's actually a scheduled event, and it's kind of just in this like Fight Club looking arena,
Hmm.
and it's kind of just between the five of them. Like literally, it's an all-out fight, I believe, between the five of them. So whoever picks sides, I guess. I don't know, but they're all kind of standing in a circle next to each other, facing off.
Huh.
And from there, Mai gets kidnapped by an Invest, and all of them head to this alternate Sengoku period, where the writers are central to the war itself, and you have various historical figures, and the writers are the retainers for these various historical figures. And that's where also Bujin Gaim, God Gaim, Blood Gaim, however you want to call him, resides. If you've seen anything for that, and wondering, well, what's the second Gaim? Well, it's Bujin Gaim. That also has Bravo's Henshin music.
Huh.
And uses the blood orange lock seed, which is identical to the orange lock seed.
Hmm.
But that's essentially the Gaim portion, and after Wizard finishes his portion, he comes and joins Gaim, and then we have the Sengoku Battle War crossover portion. Because that's usually how they name these. Now you have the Wizard portion, which is a specific title that's never really said. You have the Gaim portion, which is some specifically titled thing, and then you have the final portion, which is usually named after whatever the name of the movie is. In this case, it would be Sengoku Battle War, or it's not Sengoku Battle War, even though I keep saying that. I typed that in the recap review, and then I went to check, and it's not that. It's Sengoku Movie War, I believe.
Yeah. I think you're right on that.
Yeah, the faithful Sengoku movie battle. Or, yeah, it's not even war, it's movie battle. It's Sengoku movie battle. I'm too used to the movie war title setup.
I thought it was a movie war, though.
It is, they just have it differently titled. Because it's the exact same format as the previous movie war movies, it's just differently titled, because I don't know.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Best explanation for everything. Because reasons.
So yeah, the heads up to anyone who's watching Wizard with us. If you've already watched Wizard, you're free and clear to look up anything, because you know everything you need to know. I will say, I don't know if they will reference the Heisei special in the movie at all, because Gaim is in that special, because that's his first appearance. And it's also a very strange first appearance, because he is so not the same person in the show.
Really?
Well, not quite. Like, imagine Kota a little bit more experienced from where we're at right now, and that's him in the special.
So,
Yeah. Like, it's at some point after he gets Ichigo arms. Because you can clearly see he has Pine and Ichigo arms on his belt.
So in that sense, it could be any time after the last episode then.
Yeah, anytime from that point till whenever he gets another Loxy that he's actually going to wear on his belt, because he's not wearing Suika arms on his belt right now because, Suika arms has to recharge right now. Because we can't blow our our CG budget too early. Um, the first time we've mentioned Yuya in like a while. I also mentioned like my two predictions on Yuya. Either he's gonna turn up dead, or he's gonna be Japanese Tarzan, aka Amazon. Because that's what Amazon is. He's Japanese Tarzan, or Kamen Rider Tarzan.
Yeah. I just don't think that anyone will ever find him.
But we had that one like quick shot from the first episode where it's like a piece of Yuya's jacket is like being torn off this Invis. And some people have speculated that, that Invis is actually Yuya. Yuya and Kota has killed Team Gaim's leader. Just nobody's going to know that.
I don't see that because look how many times Mize went in there.
True.
Just being in there apparently doesn't turn you to an Invis.
But
now there could be something in the forest that turns people into Invis.
What I think it is, because we've seen the Invis consume various lock seeds and grow stronger. So again, part of the speculation is Yuya ate one of the lock seeds, thus turning him into an Invis. Somehow. Because Koto about eats one and he gets broken out of the trance.
Huh.
Again, that's all speculation. Who knows?
Like I said, I just don't think anyone's ever going to find him or find out about him.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those, they quote unquote killed him off.
Yeah.
Because you don't really see anything happen to him, so I think it's going to be one of those that's assumed he's dead, but he may or may not be.
Yeah, I think we'll just get like a couple line confirmation on that and just move on, because the hunt for Yuya has so not been the plot of this story at this point.
No.
Plus, Team Guide has been far more successful under like the leadership of Michi and Mai and kind of Kota more than Yuya ever.
Yeah.
Granted, it's also because of this whole writer situation that's happened, but Baron did fine without it. Granted, they are also rich and could get all the fancy lock seats, but so yeah, that's everything. Now, you did a recap review of Superhero Ties-In.
Yeah.
And there's something I have to tack onto that. It's a great read. I read through it earlier because I saw it was up.
I was waiting until your blog post got into the double digits and then I posted it. Because I know that kind of, the site being down kind of screwed that up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great read, and I may hate on that movie a bit, but it's truly not that bad. I have more personal issues with that movie more than objective issues with the movie. My issues are far more personal with that movie because I don't get interested in that movie because it just doesn't interest me at all. Granted, it still got its problems, but it's not the worst thing to ever happen to Rider or Sentai. Trust me, we've seen far worse things.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I have to tack on is something about the Gokaigers that irks me how they treated them in the movie. They treat the Gokaijus in the movie like Marvelous would be more than willing to go off with Tsukasa and somehow accomplish this plan, and they would never tell the Gokaijus. And Marvelous would never tell his crew. I call bullshit on that. Because as watching throughout the entirety of Gokaiger, they trust themselves internally. They trust each other as a team more than anyone ever. Like, this gets into Gokaiger spoilers, so you want me to spoil that part?
Let me try to get the image up before you go any farther.
Okay.
Truth to be known, I probably will not wind up hitting the Sentai stuff, at least for a while, so...
Yeah. My one problem is a lot of the Power Ranger shows, their Sentai counterparts aren't subbed, and they're the ones I have the most interest in watching.
I have the the image up.
Okay, because
why do I keep wanting to say freaking article?
Because you're in the mood to do TGS.
What the hell?
You're like so in the mood to do TGS right now.
Ah,
that's what it is.
Damn, I keep screwing that up. Anyhow.
Yeah. Okay, this deals with the reveal of what the greatest treasure in the world is. You remember that's what the Gokaigers are looking for, and that's the reason they gathered all the Ranger keys.
Right.
What it is it doesn't grant you any wish. What it is pretty much the last-ditch plan that any Sentai team should ever want to do. Because you remember in the first episode, all the Sentai teams sacrificed their powers in order to wipe out the Zangyak fleet.
Right.
Well, because of this, they created a second plan, that if the Zangyak fleet ever came back, since they all sacrificed their powers and they don't have them anymore, they got turned into Ranger keys, pretty much this device with what the 3015, the Gokaigers, accepting all the Raider powers, what would happen would be that this device, which looks like a pyramidal Triforce, would wipe out the Zangyak fleet once and for all. But it would be at the cost of all of the Super Sentai team's powers. All of them, including the Gokaigers. They would all be gone. Not the people per se, but the powers. They would be wiped out in order to accomplish this. Now, at the end of the series, the Gokaigers have a choice. Activate this and wipe out the Zangyak fleet because their mechs got destroyed in the fight when they were trying to fight them off. Or fight off the Zangyak and try to find some way to fight off the Zangyak fleet. Now, the Super Sentai teams are encouraging them to use this. They're like, use it. Look, just use it. We're willing to do this. We're willing to give up our powers. Guess what the Gokaigers do?
What?
They say, fuck this, throw that thing in the air and shoot it. Go take out the Zangyak fleet on their own. Fuck this, we'll do it our way. They literally go against the very wishes of the Super Sentai teams they have gathered the greater powers for. They're like, look, we've learned stuff from y'all, but fuck this. That may not be the best example, but guess who was the one who shoots it? Guy! And he's the only Earthling on the team. He's with them on this too. And time again throughout the series, you see the team is more trusting of each other and more trusting of themselves, of the family they have, than either a Super Sentai team, villains, old enemies from Sentai past, old allies from Sentai past, anybody. And what irks me about Super Taisen is just, would Marvelous truly just go off with Tsukasa and on this plan and not let his team in on this? No. Tsukasa's not going. Marvelous is not going to trust a complete stranger to him and go off and do this little deceptive plan. No, he would recruit his team into this.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. You know, Marvelous is not afraid of, like, you know, doing something in order to save his team. The Gokaiger movie proves that because he goes off and just about gets himself killed in order to save his teammates. Like he takes on the main villain one on one, and I believe it kicked the ass of the entire team. And Marvelous fights it one on one to try to save his team, try to save everybody else. But that's Guy, that's Marvelous.
Yeah.
He fights Bosco one on one, and Bosco took out the entire team plus Marvelous. He has a lot of bravado, but he is very protective of his team. So I don't believe that. That irks me about Superhero Taisen more than anything. Is that alone? On top of no one I really care about being central to the plot, and if they are, they're not quite written that well, or they don't have the rest of the cast to play off of.
Right. You know, you were saying that about Marvelous making sure that his team would be in with him on it.
Yeah.
I see your point on that, but in all honesty, the decade side of things there, that is completely like Tsukasa.
Yeah, that's completely like and here's the thing, like production-wise, about Gokaiger. It was meant to be the anti-decade. It was supposed to do everything right that decade did wrong. So of course you have where I don't believe that Marvelous would just walk away from his team in order to accomplish this plan. No, he would be with his team would be right there beside him, more than willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish this plan because they're pirates. They say that multiple times throughout the series. They are pirates. They're not afraid to do something dirty. They will flat out steal something. They will steal. They will lie. They'll cheat. That's what they do. But if you look at Tsukasa, this is totally his character to do this bullshit. It's totally his character to be like, "Oh, Kaito, I'm not going to tell you about this until the last minute, until we reveal it to the villains."
Well, let's see here. Both decade movies, he did this.
Yeah.
The exact same thing, just to a different group. I mean,
yeah.
This is completely in Tsukasa's character.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. I can see his side of it. Like I said, just brushing the surface of all the shows involved. It had its flaws, but I don't think it was bad.
Yeah.
Getting into some of the shows a little bit more, yeah. I completely see that.
Yeah, a lot of people were really upset about this movie. Trust me, visiting the forums when this movie was like when it first hit subs and people were watching it, people were furious with this movie. Absolutely furious with it. They just did not like this movie. And I was kind of...
It's because of all of seeing all of the shows that are involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the purpose of it, but that was performed bad right there.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I think this movie was made in like half the time it should have taken. It really needed. I believe like this movie was produced in like half the time it needed to take. Like this was a rush job. Because apparently someone had the brilliant idea of doing this, and someone else had the brilliant idea of making a sequel. And who knows if we're getting a third one? We'll probably find out in like 3 months if we're getting a third one.
Really, that close?
Maybe. I don't know when when Superhero Taisen or Zed were announced. I know the original Superhero Taisen was teased, I believe, at the end of, or not, no, Zed was teased at the end of Superhero Taisen, I believe. Because there's like the end credit scene where it's like, Galvan's like, where new Galvan's like, Come why did you betray me? Or it's like, why did you betray me, or some bullshit like that. Or is that a different movie?
I think that was a different movie.
Oh, at some point, they teased the Superhero Tyson Z at the end of another movie. So far, we haven't had that. At the end of Zed, they teased in the Nazuman movie. Or not Nazuman, what was it? Was it Kikaider? It was another Ishinomori property that they teased was getting a movie. We haven't seen crap all. Yeah, it was Kikaider. Another Ishinomori property was getting a movie of some type. Next year maybe. But we've seen like crap all of that project.
Hey,
What?
just pulled up the information on both of them. Honestly, if there's going to be a third one, it should really start being teased any time now, because they both came out the end of April in their respective years.
Yeah.
So there ought to be some form of teasing if there is going to be a third one.
It might be like at the end of end of like either Sengoku Battle War or the Gokaiger Go Busters, or not Gokaiger Go Busters, the Kyoryuger Go Busters movie. I'm gonna look up the release information for both of these. Uh, mm, because unlike the solo films where they double bill them, these two aren't going to be double billed. That's December 14th. This one is January 18th. Okay, so we'll probably see some. There might be something at the end of like Sengoku Battle War, because we're not going to have like a secondary rider cameo like we normally get, because we already have the secondary rider in the show.
Yeah.
I would guess that they're going to tease the Energy Lockseed riders at the end of the movie, in place of a secondary rider cameo at the end.
I don't know. Depends on when they've got it played out.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is supposed to take place sometime after, like, the next episode or two, then it might wind up doing that. But if it's going to be a little later in, then it might not.
Well, the cameos are usually just like a quick, like, this writer's going to be in the show at some point. It's never really like specific. Just like, oh, this writer's coming in, or something. It just kind of like gives you a quick introduction to the writer, and that's it. Like, the only one who didn't do that was Movie Workor, and that's because the birth suit was in the O's portion of the movie, along with who was going to use it. Actually, who was going to use it later on the show. Who actually used the birth driver for like a quarter of the show wasn't in the movie. But that's the exception to the rule. Otherwise, Excel was teased at the end of the 2010. Meteor was at the end of Megamax, and Beast was at the end of Ultimatum. And it wasn't really like specific like when they'd show up. It was mostly just like our first live action shots of that rider. Because I would believe that we would have rumors of that rider beforehand. And since we know about the Energy Lockseed riders already, like, I'm pretty sure we knew about both Meteor and Beast before the movies came out. Like, there was like rumblings of the secondary rider. Nothing definitive, but then we had something. And that was just kind of like the first in-suit live-action shots.
Right.
That's why I say that. Granted, they could do something else entirely. Like, they could show off like a brand new rider that we have no clue who is. And it's like, what?
They might could. Because you look, if they'd done something like that with Bravo, would that have surprised you?
Yeah, because...
Because Bravo doesn't really resemble what any of the others look like.
Yeah, and we had like no idea about Bravo until like maybe a couple weeks before he premiered.
Yeah.
Like,
So I
Bravo was a
mean,
surprise. Was a legit surprise because we didn't have that much information on him before he premiered.
well, and we had an idea kind of leading up to it that all of them except for Zangetsu was based around the Beat Riders.
Yeah.
Bravo's the only one that stands away from the Beat Riders.
Yeah, and I believe people were predicting him to be a very cruel rider, which is so not the case. Like, he's the complete opposite. He's like the comedic villain to Zangetsu's cruelty.
Yeah, Zangetsu's the cruel villain.
Yeah. So,
But really, he's kind of stepped away, so I don't know if that's even really a good terminology to use for him either.
yeah, he's just like a comedic and antagonistic force in the same sense that Team Rocket is a comedic antagonistic force for Ash. They're there, and they're villains, but they're not the driving force of the show. There are much bigger plots going on. Granted, that's giving Pokemon far too much credit.
Yeah.
Although Black and White, Team Rocket was the central villainous force for that uh, season. So, not for any other season. It was usually just the teams of whatever show. I think I forget their name. Team Plasma didn't step in until after like Team Rocket was done having their fun. Uh, so yeah, they could like pull a rider out of nowhere, and that would be a shock to everyone because I'm sure like if anyone's predicting the cameo, they're saying the Energy Loxy riders almost wholeheartedly. Of course, the Tokyo information we just recently got has shocked everybody because it was really not what we were expecting at all. Like the whole like color swapping thing between everyone, no one saw that coming until we got official information. The only thing we knew initially was like some of the plot, like the initial plot stuff that was in that first quota in that article I gave you. That's what we knew, and we knew their names and their associated colors. That was it before we got all this official information. Otherwise, it was just kind of rumors this, rumors that, possibility this, possibility that. The first thing I can remember us getting in terms of information was that it was a train Sentai and the name. And the name was just because they copyrighted it. So yeah, the Toei could pull a surprise on us. And considering how tight-lipped they were about the Tokyo information, hell, there might be an eighth non-energy Lockseed rider that we have no clue about that's gonna just pop out of nowhere and just be like, oh hey, now we have 8 riders in the show. Before we get to the next 3, and that will give us like 11. Wait, no, 12. Because Bujingan. Alright. Anything else?
Nah.
Because as far as I've seen, we've went about an hour just on this. I say about an hour because the video's screwed up on me twice now. So for all I know, it's actually longer than that.
It might be longer than that.
Alright.
Oh god.
Now we can transition it over to the thing we actually are supposed to be the main focus of the show. Wizard. We're looking at 20 and 21, learning the truth and the crazed dance of the dragons. Ooh. Is this what I think it is? Oh, yes, it is. Ooh, we get to probably see my favorite thing about the dragon forms, aside from All Dragon. Because honestly, All Dragon is cool. That I've been playing Battle Red War recently. Also, but I haven't been playing Wizard. I've been playing a bunch of other characters. Like I played as a Kuga, and in one level in the Pegasus form, I got really close to my old combo record with Hibiki.
Jeez.
And it was by luck, too, because somehow I managed to have Kuga be placed far enough back from the enemies and shooting at the exact spot the enemies were spawning in. So, literally, and this was also an area where the boss was, but the thing is, in that fight, I had New Dino helping me out. So, New Dino was off picking a fight with the enemy, like off in the corner, way away from me, and the boss didn't give a two shits about me. So, I just kept shooting the enemies, and I got up like over 3,000 by sheer luck.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I've been finding other moves that are good for combos that can, like, grind points to heaven from here and back for points in the shop. But yeah. So yeah, this will be a cool little 2 episodes because this 4 episodes shows off the really cool stuff about the dragon forms.
Well, one of them.
The 2 actually. I'm gonna spoil it a bit and just say, yeah, the 23, that's All Dragon's first appearance. Just gonna spoil that now. 23 was All Dragon's first appearance, and oh boy, did All Dragon have a great first appearance. Oh, that's a hot, like, the fight in the final fight in 23 to cap off this Phoenix arc. That's a highlight for the show in my book. On the end of that fight alone, because that is the greatest thing I've ever seen in Rider. It was so good. But yeah, thoughts going into 20 and 21, which will be the first half of our Phoenix arc.
Kind of the same as normal.
Yeah.
I always stay open to it.
Now, we will have a villain of the week. We're going to have a Phantom Beelzebub be the central villain for these 2 episodes, but this is also going to deal with Phoenix. So that's why I'm calling it the Phoenix arc more than, hey, it's the Beelzebub arc, because literally the end of 21 takes us into 22. So this is the Phoenix arc more than this is the Beelzebub arc. Nothing else to really point out. So, shall we get started?
I guess so.
And I found out a cool thing about a VLC media player. The media player thing, that is actually able to move around anywhere you want on the screen.
Huh.
And I think, I can actually even move it out of the full screen window.
Wow.
Yeah, I can completely move it out of the full screen window and move it wherever I want. Granted, I think oh dear. Where is it? Uh-oh. That might have been a terrible idea. There. Oh! Uh-oh. That was a terrible idea. Because now it's impossible for me to find it. Oh, come on, Yipo. Isa. There it go. Nope. Yeah, this is a terrible idea. I'm moving it back into the video. Don't do that. Just,
oh god.
you have VLC. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Because all of a sudden, now it's impossible to click on it if it goes and hides. Alright, you got it queued up and ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Starting up a Wizard 20 and 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it does not look that bad. Like, seriously, I have been in worse storms than this. You should not be shaking that hard. The wind is not sideways. Okay, what the... Uh, freeze for a second.
Do what?
Freeze. Stop.
Oh,
My video froze, but my audio kept going.
odd.
Yeah, I kind of want to take that from top because it stopped like 5 seconds in.
Okay, then. Let's take it from the top.
Yeah, okay, trying it again from the 00 marker. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it like froze after the recap, and like when uh, Nito was fighting the not sideways wind, or not sideways wind, sideways rain. So maybe it goes better now. That was just weird.
Huh.
Oh Jesus! Where the hell did that guy go? Griffin! Because Nito's fucking screaming your name as he attempts to put uh mayonnaise on his big old bowl of ramen.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Wow. Seriously.
I don't know, just whenever, and I don't think he's gonna use it like that.
Oh, God.
Oh dear. Oh, that looks so terrible. I love it. Oh, that looks so terrible. I love it. It totally doesn't look like his head's on that body.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Oh.
yes, your time will come eventually. You also so drunk after off your ass. I'm surprised you don't fall down while talking to him. Oh dear.
Well, apparently you don't piss Phoenix off.
No, well, he has very terrible anger management issues.
Yeah.
Well, that one guy's happy to be in a trunk of a car. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Just leaning back there like, this is the greatest night of my life. I just got beat up by some random schmuck.
Uh,
Oh, by the way, at some point we are going to get Superior Tyson Z commercial openings.
oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, don't feel too bad. Anyone watching Go Bus? No, wait, was it Go Bus? No, it was Q. I forgot which Sensei show was on at the time. Also had Z openings too. Wait, no, they didn't. It was only Wizard that had the Z openings. I don't know why, but yeah. Doesn't help the curators are in there for like 5 minutes. Same with Wizard. He's there for like 10 minutes of the movie and he's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, they pulled the
Whole
same
movie
shit.
focused around basically them two, and that still dodges it.
Yeah, the movie, kind of like how Super Tyson is not focused around any specific team. It's focused around like a random assortment of characters. Zed is focused around Guy from Gokaiger, Yoko from Go Busters, and the new Gavon.
Wow.
Literally, that's who it is. Somebody sure is eccentric.
She's the gate, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
You
love.
like how I managed to say that right as the minions decided to show their face?
Yeah. If you was just like, hi. Just like, hi. You're going to fall into despair now.
Oh, wow.
Going straight in the hurricane.
Love the reaction.
Yeah. Also, I think these two episodes were directed by Sakamoto in terms of action. I think. I know a couple episodes in Wizards had some action direction by Sakamoto. And since he loves his Dutch camera angles, and I'm seeing a bunch of Dutch camera angles, that's him. You don't know what a Dutch camera angle is, do you?
Huh.
It's kind of like that half sideways shot, like that one
Oh.
and that one. Yeah, he loves some Dutch camera angles. That's just what he does. I don't know why, but that's him. And anytime I see those in Tokusatsu, I have to think it's Sakamoto. So he's the only guy in the world who uses it. I think. No one else really does it.
Smackdown.
And everyone's gone.
Hmm.
At least Junpei's doing his job in some random bar. Nope, she's too caught up in her own world. Just love that reaction from Haruto. It's just like, she's not listening. I think they'll be sad if you end up getting killed. Oh. Oh, I can tell already Haruto's gonna have a fun time with this one.
Yeah.
Just like, no, I don't want this gate. I don't want this gate, but I don't want her to die. Fuck. Hey, somebody who just doesn't want to scare the phantom out of them. Well then, nice party
Oh,
trick.
that's gonna make it challenging.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, we could actually get to see Rinko do her job. Hey, Haruto's not dressed too.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why dress up is a one offering this week. Also, love that CGI. I think this is several people's worst nightmare.
yeah.
Also, I don't think anyone cares. Eh, Rinko's not that bad. Dear God, she's got some mental issues.
Seriously.
And people complain about Akiko from fucking Double.
Ugh.
Akiko may have the voice, but she does not have the same attitude as this chick. He's not really bug faced. He's more devil faced.
Yeah.
Love heart was just like, cut it out. We're here on a job, remember? Hmm. I think Heart is sensing something's up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, with the B plot with with Rinko. Oh, by the way, look at who Phoenix was before he became a phantom.
Hmm.
This dude looks like he is just like completely calm and centered, which is completely different from Phoenix, who looks to be who's always want to rip somebody's head off.
Yeah. Phoenix is mentally unstable.
Yeah, this dude was like super chill. Well, something kind of did. Also, I don't think.
Oh god.
Yeah, yeah, Ranko's starting to put two and two together. Although she doesn't know what Phoenix looks like human-wise. And I don't think Haruto does either. Has Haruto ever seen Phoenix in his human form?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I think when him and Phoenix fought the last time, Phoenix was already in Phantom form.
I think he has been every single time he's fought Haruto, so his human form is a complete mystery to all and to the wizard team.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's always been in Phantom form every time. And that first time would have been the only time that there could have been a possibility, but I'm thinking he was in Phantom form then.
Jinpei?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Haruto puts it together. I get there's I love it when I love the thing about the Neo Heisei guys when a plot is in play that's not completely obvious, they are more than willing to put it together. If there's a mystery for these guys to solve, they will solve it and try to get ahead of the game. And Rinko's about to text Haruto, but decides not to. Probably not your smartest
Which
move,
is
Rinko.
probably a dumb idea.
Yeah. Okay, could this be any more creepy? Again, she probably only suspects a phantom. She might not fully believe that this guy's a phantom just yet.
Even though she should.
But,
As much as she's been around and knows about Haruto, I mean...
yeah, somebody going missing around the eclipse, it's like, good chance they're a phantom. Damn, he's even gotten to him. Well, I give this Phantom credit. He's gotten the best gate to deal with. Already been unstable, just driving her further.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a Phantom plot that's actually tries to do something besides scared to death. Uh, I assume the old-fashioned Toku trope of just kill the monster and everything's back to normal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling you're right because the camera angles are way different than what we're used to.
Yeah, it's got It's just so many Dutch angles. I'm like, oh, this is Sakamoto.
Oh God.
Haruto getting on them steroids.
Oh God.
Oh, hi, Nito. How about you pitch in the help? It's like, you can pitch in the help at any point now.
I like that. Well, whatever. It's like just shut up and get in here. You bitching about it? Get in here and do something.
Yeah, I've been dealing with a very unstable gate. I hadn't had time to call you. Just tell you. It's like, oh, hey, I got a phantom. You might want to come and eat him. How about you take the small fry first, and then you can get the main dish? And on top of having the camo, Chameleon can use its tongue, which
Hmm.
I don't think we've seen before. Yeah, his least used one is Dolphin. Because, well, how many kind of times can you use Heatling? Or how many times are you going to really need that? We busting out all the different forms this week, aren't we?
Apparently. What the?
Haruto, you might want to turn around. Oh, he can even start doing some teleporting shenanigans too. Well,
And we end this episode with Haruto getting his ass handed to him.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, as he goes and uses a spell of some kind. And you see in the preview the cool thing about the dragon forms.
Yeah, I thought that was what the screen cap for 21 on YouTube was.
And oh, well, uh, are you getting superior time on
Yep.
your video? Okay, yeah, that's a late Go Buster stuff. Do you mind if I get context to that? Just a little bit.
Go for it.
Um, in order for oh shoot, I forgot Red Buster's name. But he tries to destroy himself and enter at the same time for story reasons.
Hmm.
Yes, a character legitimately tries to commit suicide.
And this is a kid's show.
Yeah, in order to take out a villain. Yes, that does happen in Go Busters. Go Busters may have its faults at times, but it has some damn good writing when it wants to. So, thoughts on the 20 so far?
Definitely good to, like you said, see a Phantom that wants to do more than just kill, kill, kill.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus, we're dealing with a type of gate we haven't seen before. A gate who is really uncooperative.
and annoying.
Oh, yeah, and a bit unstable. But let's not forget the unstable part.
Yeah,
Oh, oh,
and you can tell Haruto's at the point of wanting to pull his hair out.
oh, yeah. It's just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this, but I'm the hero. I'm the good guy here. Ugh.
This definitely has to be one of the gates that he kind of wants to just let the Phantom have, but
Yeah,
he
but
knows that he shouldn't.
yeah, sometimes it's tough to be the good guy. Sometimes you have to be the better person than the thing that, well, sometimes it's just easier not to be the better person.
Oh God.
But what can you do? Alright. You ready to start 21?
Yep.
Alright. Kicking off 21 here in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, he's gonna try his own little teleporting shenanigans. The Connect special?
Huh.
Oh, well, too bad he kind of
Uh oh.
saw that one coming.
Oh God. He
Yep.
just hit himself.
Yeah. Joseph's like, look, I know this trick inside out. Look, I know when you're trying to do this. Oh, hi, White Wizard. Thank you for the save. By the way, I'm borrowing Haruto for a bit. Yeah, that's kind of his main ring. He doesn't really use much else.
Huh. Yes, White Wizard knows about everything.
Yep. Also, bye! Totally not gonna do something evil. Yeah. In case anyone's wondering what archetype is, it's just prototype. Beast is a prototype wizard,
Yeah.
which is why he kind of needs to consume mana. That's totally not suspicious. I'm just kind of waiting on us to get Super Horizon Z openings. So it's just gonna be like, thanks for reminding me about that movie. I wish I could forget. On the bright side, we should be soon getting the solo movie for Kyoryuger Gabrichua music soon.
Hmm.
I got a bookmark to the Raw up on Dailymotion, I believe. Or, no, not on Dailymotion, on YouTube right now. Which, interesting enough, last week's episode of Kyoryuger referenced that said movie. It was kind of a follow-up to it. So, perfect timing. Granted, they probably did the episode because, to boost DVD sales. It was like, who is this character in these things? And it's like, oh, that's why. All this seems to be a lot more integrated than just a one-off episode. The exclusive mech from that show, from that movie, is getting used next week.
Huh.
Apparently, all the possible mech, all the main mech combinations are being used next week for some big fight. And some of those look dead.
Yeah.
No, Nito, you don't. But then again, friend means rival to you. I think you just need to give her a sedative and knock her out for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that. Calm down, woman. A little bit. Because Rinko's a cop, and just as much as Haruto has to be the better man in the situation, Rinko's the better man and the better woman in the situation. Although it will get her hurt. Oh, look at Fink's trying to be helpful.
Huh.
Of course, here's the problem. Even if a villain's trying to be helpful, you have to think that they're lying all the hell.
Oh, yeah. Even though he's telling the complete truth there.
Yeah. There's reasons he's telling the truth. Also, welcome to somewhere. This scene's in Traveler Sinky. They do this and how Haruto gets his infinity form as the specific parts. They don't do exactly this. They just kind of do the whole him getting the dragon timer so he can get all dragon. No, I'm thinking they should do that to her too. Haruto, I don't think that's good food for you. Yes, he was. He's also trying to play you so hard. Now, keep that line in mind for when we get to the Infinity Arc. And keep in mind what White Wizard is trying to do here.
Hmm.
There are reasons behind these two things. This is probably a terrible idea for them.
Oh God.
Yeah, sending them two in order to do this. Yeah, this. Probably should have sent Rico in first. See, she gets the job done. Look what happens when Haruto goes away. It's a madhouse. Isn't Haruto acting a little bit cocky?
Seriously.
Looks to be hurting the both of them. Whatever's happening.
Yeah. I think it's a case of they're both devouring each other.
Yeah.
Because he's not his comrade, that's why.
Yeah, the Phoenix kind of plays by his own rules. Okay, where the hell are they?
Seriously.
Were they at some aquarium where this guy's decided to set up shop? This is way too fancy, plus has a ghoul on guard. So the familiars weren't quite what Finks thought they were. That or he was telling half the truth.
Hmm.
Looks like he was telling half the truth. The familiar is only half of the power.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. They aren't. They just don't want to do what they just want to do whatever they want.
Oh God. She's got Phoenix all wrong.
Doesn't help that Phoenix is playing her in the process. Strangely enough, we never see that come true. Pretty much all the Phantoms are just after the make more Phantoms.
Yeah.
There's never really a Phantom that just wants to be. Well, Cat Sith is kind of the exception to the rule, but he still wanted to do his thing. He's like, oh, I'll make you fall in despair, but I kind of want to also just kind of go play around somewhere.
Rainbow Blast.
Yep. A kind of magical ring. The Dragon Timer. Again, something else to keep in mind for once we get to Infinity. Because he created that with his mana. Plus, it's also a ring, even though it doesn't look like one. If you look at the part where his hand would be, you'll see the ring base plus a stone.
Huh.
It's just a oversized stone. I wonder if he ever hit the coat before he hit the belt.
Probably. Probably the same thing I wonder in Gaim about Kaito with the lock seeds.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times he's dropped it because of the whole spin in it.
Yeah, I seriously want to see bloopers. I've never really seen bloopers for Rider or Sentai shows. Somebody
It
getting
would
all up
be.
into the conducting.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah. He's about to pull something with his many movements as he's doing. Oh, seriously, it gets caught. Franco could use your help while you're talking to Phoenix.
You're so full of crap. You're so full of crap, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Although I have to think that like half of this is true because it's like I don't really care for the spares. It stresses me out. All I want to do is just murder people. It's like I have to think he's like telling half the truth right here in order to play her. Plus, Phoenix is going to realize something from this conversation.
Yep.
Fortunately, it's going to give him all the wrong ideas. Too bad what she's trying to say and what Phoenix is hearing are two completely different things.
Seriously.
Like she's trying to tell him, it's like, oh, you could be a good Phantom. You could help us out. Whereas Phoenix is like, she's right. I don't have to make Phantoms make Gates fall into despair. I could just go and murder people.
And now they know.
Uh huh.
Because once one knows, they all know.
Yeah. Well, let's just say Phoenix is going to be singing a message by the end of this episode. Unfortunately, Rinko's going to be part of that message. This is like everyone's worst nightmare coming true.
Well, mainly hers.
Yeah.
Because she completely relies on everyone liking her, so.
Yeah. Just gotta went and got a power up.
And he just about always has to start with flame.
Yeah, probably a force of habit for him.
Really? That should be
Yeah,
the one thing you should expect is him to jump behind you.
yeah. I love how he doesn't actually grab a ring. It's just a camera trick that he grabs one.
Yeah, he's not done yet.
Nope. Gotta bust out the new toy.
Next.
And for Haruto's next trick, duplication.
Duplication in multiple forms.
Yep. I love that pose when he's about to hit the dragon timer. It's a really cool pose. Also, all four are completely sentient. Oh, by the way, there's four.
I kind of figured one for each form.
Yep.
Ooh!
Also, this lasts far longer than that dragon timer actually lasts, so. But time is kind of just what's the word I'm looking for?
Let him try his garbage jumps.
Also a pun.
Yeah, I saw
Dragon.
that.
Yeah, he can also do dragon 3-mation, 2-mation, and 1-mation for reasons.
Oh god.
Yeah, this fight and the final fight from 23 about kill their CGI budget, I swear. That flip sword slash
Golly.
strike, yeah. See? Tokutroph. Monster destroyed, everyone's okay. There's no lasting effects. Now the thing is, I know someone would bring up the point. It's like, well, why does he use copy for this? Well, I don't think copy would allow him to use the multiple forms.
It wouldn't, because it'd make a copy of him.
Yeah,
If he changed forms, his copy would change forms with him.
yeah. Well, the thing is about his dragon forms, his normal spells are a bit powered up.
Yeah, but I don't think it would justify that.
Yeah, it might create like sentient copies of one dragon form, but it would create sentient copies of all four dragons.
Right. And like I said, if he changed forms, I would think it would change forms in his copies too.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think he'd be able to use special as effectively as he does here.
Right.
Also, yeah. As we're about to see in the preview, Phoenix is about to send a message, and Rinko's going to be part of that. Not just to Haruto, but to the rest of the Phantoms as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's had enough of their little schemes. He's going to be doing things his own way.
Hmm.
Oh, here it is.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting those Zen openings real soon.
Oh God.
Yep, it's that time. Well,
But I'm assuming that's probably going to start next week.
Maybe not immediately next week, but at some point, that's going to be what we're going to be dealing with opening wise for the next while. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Like I said, the first one I didn't feel like was that bad because I haven't really watched the bulk of the shows involved.
But
But why do I have a bad feeling I'm not going to really like the sequel for it?
like I said, you know what happened? Like what happened to Kaito? Imagine that happening to a well-written character,
Hmm.
to a character people give a shit about, and not Kaito, who some people don't care about or don't like to begin with.
I wouldn't say I didn't like Kaito. I mean,
But would you honestly care that much if you were to show up again in anything?
no, because it wouldn't make much of a difference.
Right now, the yeah, the character that this kind of like heel turn esque thing happens to a character people would love to come back like
Hmm.
every time, like any chance they get.
Hmm.
And would you like me to spoil who it is?
Sure, go ahead.
The original Gavon.
Huh.
Like the one from the Go Catcher Gavon movie. That's like 40, but can still like do just ridiculous action sequences. Like watch the Gavon movie when he comes in, and I'm just like, the Gavon movie. He's in there like halfway through the movie. He has this action sequence where he literally drives a car into a building to rescue the new Gavon and beats the shit out of the monsters untransformed, out
Hmm.
of suit, no stunt double. It is him. Dude's like in his 40s, maybe 60s. And even in the Gavon movie, he's kicking ass. And even in Go Catcher Gavon movie, he's kicking ass.
Hmm.
And this is someone who's also two Sentai team members for two different teams as two different characters, which again gets referenced in Go Catcher versus Gavon. Yeah, unlike in Power Rangers, where we'll have like the same character be multiple Rangers, in Japan, if a actor is playing another Sentai character, he's just a completely different character. Which even puzzles the Go Catchers because they have the two Sentai characters next to each other in the movie. And Guy is just like, well, this guy smells like bread, like this nice bread, and this guy smells like something else. That's how you tell the difference, even though they look like the exact same person. It's because they are. And you
Oh
have Guy
god.
in the middle, in between the two, and it's just like, okay, well, we'll take your word for it, Guy, that they smell different, which is how you can tell them apart. Besides how they dress, and it's the fact that he's a completely different character is just like, okay. And apparently these three have met each other at some point because they even said it's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. I've met that Gavon guy. And you just have to imagine how that goes. It's like you look like me. Well, I look like you.
Oh god.
Again, a far superior film that involves characters from Zed. Uh, so what do you think of these two episodes?
Definitely one of the better arcs in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the gate kind of was annoying, and
Fortunately,
that
we don't
kind
have
of,
that
I
many.
mean, was.
Yeah. Good thing is we don't have that many that do that.
But even excluding that, that was not a bad arc.
No. So what do you think of the Dragon Timer's first ability?
First.
Yes.
Hmm.
It has two distinct abilities. The first is that. The second you can probably guess.
Hmm.
Even though Battle Royale War makes no mention of it.
Hmm. I, I like it. I like seeing that ability that he actually can utilize all four rings without having to come up with some off the wall shenanigans for it.
Yeah, it's a specific thing that, hey, it was created by his mana. With the assistance of the White Wizard, mind you. Now, as I was saying when that ritual was happening, there are the lines said there are going to be come back around once we get to the Infinity arc to kind of explain some things, and also there's a reason White Wizard does what he does. I'm I'm trying to think how to say these things while not being specific, so it's kept spoiler free. But
There's not really a good way.
yeah, again, it's those problems of having seen the entire show and going back through. You know what's going. You know things being set up now. And it's not like, oh, now I see this thing being set up here and this thing being set up there, and oh, this explains this and that, and from later on, you just kind of forgot about it because it's like 20 some odd episodes ago, and it was like 3 lines. It wasn't the main focus of the episode. But yeah, that's those. Just keep this episode in mind when we get to Infinity and when we get to the final run, the final few episodes of Wizard. Keep this ritual in mind because there's things, there's reasons for it. Just trust me on this one.
Okay.
Other than that, Nito gets to get knocked around and gets to be called a prototype wizard, which is something he'll be called by White Wizard for like the rest of the show, and something Nito's annoyed by a lot.
Well, he's annoyed because of two reasons in this one.
Yeah.
One's that, and then the other's he thinks he's got another rival.
Oh, yo. Now that I think about that line and later on, things there too. Just things there too.
Well, you know what's funny?
What?
This apparently is the first time that anyone has seen the White Wizard since Haruto first got the belt in the ring.
Yeah. The only other time, the only time he was like seen was just when the white uh Garuda was dropping off a stone.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think any of them actually saw him.
Yeah, it was just the white Garuda.
So, I mean,
I mean, you could put that together because white Garuda, white wizard. He's got this whole white theme going on,
yeah.
which.
But
It,
but what I was saying though, you look, that's the only time that you've even seen White Wizard. Apparently, he's not any threat when it comes to defeating these guys.
Yeah, he has one ring, and that's all he needs. It's like, I got explosion. I need nothing else. What do you want?
And you know, you gotta love the fact that even his ring is nice.
Which there's also something interesting about the White Wizard ring compared to Haruto's. If you notice the cut on each, you see how Haruto's is all nice and cut, like an actual ring.
Yeah.
Do you notice how White Wizard's is?
Uh.
It's a lot rougher.
Hmm.
Like, even if you look at the ring itself, it's a lot rougher cuts. Of course, it also helps that the helmet is designed right after the ring, so you can see it more clearly on the helmet that it's a lot rougher cut. Which, if you ask me, means that Wajima didn't make it. So I have to think that White Wizard made his own ring.
He probably did.
Yeah.
It's probably a case of he had to, though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Next week we wrap up this Phoenix arc, and we get to see the second function of the Dragon Timer. Which is something you all know too well, it's just you didn't know how it was activated. But until then, that'll do it for
Wrap it up, Salon.
I'm Peacemaker2448 saying, not everybody, we'll see you on the next round of the Gaming Saloon Rift Tracks. Peace out.
As always, you can find the Gaming Saloon Rift Tracks on our site, tgsr.dynds.org. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, on Twitter by following at TGS Rift Tracks, on Facebook at facebook.com/TGSRiftTracks, on Google Plus at g+.2/TGSRift, YouTube at youtube.com/user/TGSRiftTracks. Also, don't forget about the mobile app. It will be updated after every TGSR with archives for both TGS and TGSR. Till next time.